Well, it's that time of year where you want to bubble wrap your players, but for a couple of Canadian hockey teams, they can't seem to keep the hospital bracelets off. Alongside Brian Burke and Elliotte Friedman. We'll start with you, Brian. Jake Muzzin is out for 4 weeks with a broken hand. But here's the question. Can they still make a trade to address the issue?
Yes, they can. This is a little-known rule in the NHL CBA that they can make a trade after the trade deadline, and that player can participate in regular season games only. So you could use that player to get into the playoffs if possible, but then he may not participate in the playoffs.
Why doesn't that happen more often then?
Well, I'm guessing the price tag would be awfully high now. If I knew a team needed to replace a defenseman and I thought he was worth a third, I'd be asking for a second and a third.
The desperation thing. Like I remember a couple of times this happened in Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays did it once with a pitcher named Bud Black. They brought him in as a starter late. It didn't work. So I would assume that, especially as a player, I can't imagine Brian and Jeff as a player. You'd be sitting here, okay, I can relax as the deadline. Now, what? I get traded and I can't even play in the playoffs? I can't imagine the motivation would be too high.
I would imagine, Brian, this would be something the NHL would frown upon.
Well, I think the NHL would prefer to not see this. The trade deadline is meaningful to our fans, and I think they'd prefer not to see it. But it is a allowable tool, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking into it, some of these teams.
And I would just like to say, for the record, I really hope to mail it in for the next few weeks until the playoffs. So I would prefer if nobody gave me any extra work to do.